Morning folks, hope you're doing well. It's a little after 6 AM. It's beautiful. Heading over into Beechwood, and because things are cloudy today, hopefully I'll get some soft light, we'll get some subtle images. I might try and grab a few photos. I've got my camera with me and I've got a Colombian in my backpack. Not an actual Colombian. I've got coffee in my backpack. Yeah, I'm carrying a Colombian around. I'm going to do a coffee review. Not tried this one before. Yes, it's Colombian. Heading over to this really old wood, and it's centuries old, but it's been planted and replanted many times. Beech today, about 300, 400, 500 years ago, some crazy time, it featured as part of a wider landscape, and the record states it was part of a plot to receive 1,000 acres of acorns. Like, guess what's going to be planted in there then? I love that. So I'm gonna get a wiggle on, review this Colombian in my backpack, grab a couple of shots and identify some beech with any luck. So I'll see you in a minute. There's a shot. Some beautiful light coming through on the fir tree in the background. Really old pine forest. I see a deer. He's staring right at me. I don't want to. Oh, I see him. I'm going to move. Which way? There he is, look. You see him? It's that stump just crossing him. Oh, it's going. Oh, gave me goosebumps. That's what it's about. It's just about the simplest of things, just connecting with nature, eh? You can't put a price on that. You just can't. It's time to test out this Colombian in my backpack. He's got a bad throat. Stunning in here. Stunning. Not a bad place for a coffee, is it? Get my tackle out. Get my coffee stuff out. And yeah, let's have a coffee. coffee's done. Oh, it's beautiful in here today. Right, here we go. Costs, it's like £2.20 for a 227 gram pack. Tesco Colombian, freshly ground, single origin, no less. 3 medium grade, medium grit. Smells like coffee. Oh, it smells nice. It smells really nice. Ooh. Ooh, that is different. Don't you get the noise you make? Hate the noise you make. Like at the back of your throat when you drink, sorry. I do, it bugs me. So I thought I'd share it. Oh man. That's really nice. That's a really nice drink. Will it grow on me? I don't know. I'm not wowing about it. It's very mellow. If you like a mellow coffee, a light mellow coffee, I recommend Colombian, freshly ground, 3 medium grit. So far we've seen 1 deer, about a dozen rabbits, but we didn't really see them because they kept hiding. No snakes, no bears. Right, okay. So why am I here? I've come here for a cup of coffee, to be honest. Been out 2 hours already. Second coffee of the day. The first one was lousy. This one's alright, actually, seriously. It's not very strong. It is a 3 at best. It's like serious coffee. You know, you've got to do something and you don't want to be like buzzing and banging off all the walls, but you need a fix. That'll probably do the job. It tastes serious. Okay. I had absolutely no intention of becoming a coffee connoisseur. Well, I am a coffee connoisseur, but I had no intention of reviewing coffees. If I do, then I think I ought to give it a rating, didn't I? So let's go out of 10. It's no good going for a coffee that's graded in 5 grits and then grading it in 5 grades. That would be confusing. So I'm going to rate them out of 10. Overall, with no preference in mind, I would give Colombian, Tesco's Colombian, freshly ground, single origin, 3 grit, a 7. A sensible, serious 7. I can coffee be serious. It is though. Try it, you'll see what I mean. Right. So yeah, I've come out today. I'm in this beautiful beech wood and I want to identify beech today. And I also want to get some of this light. I've got my camera, so I'll do my usual, grab a couple of shots. Just my usual capturing the forest shots. I'm not going for any awards with any of this. This is not, I'm not creating vanity shots, the perfect shot. It's not me. Not into that. I just want to capture the magic of the woodland. So if I can get a little tiny taste of that in a bit as well, game on. Okay, enough waffling. I'm going to pack up all my junk. Tranvia's gone cold. I always like to let it burn out. I don't like to carry loose fuel in the Trangia itself. Not that I've had any bad experiences, I just don't like the idea of relying on the Trangia seal to stop my camera from getting soaked in bioethanol. It's not my idea of a good day, you know. Okay, there's a lot of flies starting to buzz around, so I think they've either got a smell of my Colombian or it's my aftershave. I'm not sure which would attract them most. Right, that's enough of that. I'm just re-recording something. It's really important to me, making these videos. I don't want to become all preachy and thou shalt not. It does my nutting when I'm preached to. I don't like to be told what to do, like most people don't like to be told what to do. And having that freedom of spirit where you just want to go out and explore, I think it maybe affects us even worse when we get preached at, and I don't want to be that person. And I think what I first recorded was a bit preachy. So at the expense of waffling a little bit more, I just wanted to re-record it. And what I wanted to re-record was, with flora identification, there's a parallel to leave no trace. The motto, the saying, the mantra, the fundamental we all live by in the outdoors community. When we come out to these places, the sensible ones amongst us, the majority, the vast majority of us, we practice the well-known leave no trace. That's it. We come out, we make a mess. Boy, do I make a mess. When we leave, it's as if we didn't visit. We try to cover our footsteps up. We leave absolutely nothing behind. If anything, we find rubbish, we take that with us as well. And the objective with that is that we don't leave any impact on the environment. We're not going to leave fire scars and plastic and junk and makeup and underwear and all that jazz. Leave no trace, we all know it. But with flora identification, I found this week, having done a bit of research, the botanists for years apparently have practiced their equivalent really in order to try and protect this place, to ensure it's safe, guarded. It's common sense, just like leave no traces. But it needs saying, I think, and that's the thing, I didn't want to become preachy with it. So, without being preachy about it, I just want to share what the botanist's motto is, and that is book to tree. In other words, when we want to identify stuff, go to it, don't bring it to you. And the idea of that is that with all the endangered species, I think that's what it was. I found this week in research a few extinct species of flower and plant in the UK forests, and it brought me down a bit. I don't like to read that sort of stuff. I know it's relevant, I know I have to, I know it's important, but it's not something I wanted to really harp on about. It's what I did earlier. We've lost some very valuable species in the woodlands of the British Isles. I'm not talking about critically endangered, just endangered. I'm talking about they are now officially extinct on the Red Book, no longer present. And can you imagine somebody coming to one of these beech woods, picking that last wild orchid, all for the sake of sharing that motto and planting the seed? And that's all I want to do, is I just want to plant that seed. If nobody's heard it before, I'd like to share it with you if you don't mind. And all it is book to tree. Come out, identify this stuff, learn about it. It's amazing. The stuff I've picked up in this last few weeks of actively researching these places I think it's brilliant. Really, really cool. You find things that I didn't know, how beech forests were home to wild orchids. I knew there were some beautiful flowers in here, some unusual shrooms. I mean, I've seen some epic stuff in this place, but I didn't know about the orchids. I do now, so I'll keep my eyes open. If I find any, you'll be the first to know. So that's all it was. That's a bit more upbeat than you do this or else. Nobody likes that, least of all me. So, edit over. Just going to identify some beech. Ooh. Sorry, madam. I was right about the light. I've left it too late. It's gone more difficult. Do you mind trying to do a show here? Staff. So go on. I give up. Angels of nature. So that's a beech leaf, pointed at the tip and the top. So they're quite symmetrical. And when identifying trees generally, that's a golden rule. Never take one sample of leaf, always take multiples. I don't mean take, I mean examine. Typical facts for beech are that there are large trees. They're bullies, is what they are. They grow up to 40 metres tall. That is considerable size. I can't even get a view up above because it's absolutely packed with foliage. It's a monster, absolute monster. And he's not the biggest in here by a long chalk. He's on the fringes. In the centre of this place, those trees are colossal. I know the GoPro's no good. Bark is usually smooth and grey. You see this here is very smooth. Make sure I'm far enough away so it's in focus. And it's grey. On the weathered side we've got a little bit more moss. See as the sun's on that. Very smooth bark, very smooth. Very tall, with a large spreading canopy. The way the leaves are formed, they have a stalk of up to 1.5 centimetres. So on these baby leaves at the bottom of the tree here, you can see they're not 1.5 centimetres. It's about 1 centimetre. And as the tree matures, further up you go, the little stalk there for each leaf, up to 1.5 centimetres. The more mature the branch, the greater that stalk will be. In general terms, beech tree produces a nut at 1.8 centimetres in length, and that nut falls to the floor inside what's called a mast. And on the floor you will find examples of beech mast, spiky cases with a hollow core that once contained the beech nut. So the evidence to identify beech is a tall, straight, smooth barked trunk that's quite grey, with a leaf that's oval in shape and a pointed tip. On the top side of the leaf it's very green, and on the underside of the leaf is lighter. I'll show you. So when we have a look at the outside of the leaf there, sorry, a very green, slightly waxy finish, smooth, soft, very flexible. But then when you come on the underside of the leaf, they're a silvery colour. It's got a reflective side to it. You get almost a shine, quite transparent from the underside. But what that does essentially it's block out as much light as possible. And the impact of that, and this is what I mean by them being a bully, is that very little else can grow on the forest floor. No other trees will grow in here usually. It's a bully. It creates a very unique and rather beautiful woodland. Home to some species of extremely rare wild orchid. Shrooms galore. We'll have some fun down here in October. That's enough for me routinely to identify beech. I'm going to get this camera and take a shot over there. There's a composition between those two trees of the light on that hanging branch. I don't know if it's vine or what, I've not got my specs on, but the light just looks stunning from here, so I might even compose from back here somewhere. So I'm going to grab a couple of shots. I'll make sure that one of those shots is of the more mature beech leaf as an example, and then that'll help as a guide reference for identifying beech. Wicked. Got a composition here on just catching the base of this tree, leading off into the negative space at the back there, and then trying to capture, and I'll feature that hanging light there, the side of that tree. Difficulty is, because I'm close to the tree here, I'm going to do a two-shot focus stack. So my initial focus is on the tree just there, and I'm going to take that shot. Got half-second shutter, f6.3, and minus 1 stop at ISO 50, and that's just going to dumb down some of those, some of the background there where the light is poking through, some of the sky's poking through. I'll try and wash some of that out in post. Hopefully I'll be able to get rid of most of it, and then focus, as I say, on this hanging light here. So that's my first shot. And then my second focus is going to go, I'm going to take it right to the, I want to make sure that is in focus if it's going to be a feature. So I'm focusing right in on that highlight there. Okay. No idea how that'll pan out. It's yeah, testing. Sorry, madam. I'm just taking one last shot. I just wanted to share this with you. This is a series of YouTube videos all on its own. The subject of what and why I shoot, because I don't have boutique images in mind. I'm here capturing nature, and I'm not trying to embellish it or beautify it, simplify it, minimize it, do anything with it other than capture it. And I get motivated by light, and right now there's a scene through these two trees here and here. If you cut that off, you get this beautiful backlit canopy, and it's just that light coming in there that's spoiling it. But then, is it? Can I just put a dodge tool on there and make it pop that leafage out? I don't know. So before the light completely dies, it's going on me now. This is a bonkers composition. It's a bonkers settings. It may not work. If it doesn't, I won't post it. If it does, well, no, sod it, I'll post it anyway. Half a second shutter. You can see how underexposed I am at the moment. It was 1.3 stops, it's gone to 1.7 because the lights died on me. But I'm at f9, to try and get the mid-ground reasonably sharp, and then I can soften the edges and just bring out that central beam of light that's shining into the forest. That's my ambition, because that's what I'm seeing when I look up here. I'm seeing that one stream of light just feeding into the forest, illuminating around here and bouncing off the front of those leaves. I'm going to bracket it. I've just decided, because that light's changing, it looks like I'm going to get wet as well, so I'm going to make a move. But I'll bracket it. I'll go to -1. When I'm more proficient, I'll talk to you about what's in my mind. It's a popcorn day. Right, so that's me done, folks. Coffee's a 7. That's all I can say about it. It was alright. It wasn't brilliant. It wasn't bad. It was a 7. We'll try another one next time. Go for something a little bit richer, perhaps. Maybe pick up a French roast or a morning coffee, something like that. It's not quite hit the spot, you know what I mean? But hey, still lovely. Caught the deer. What a treat that was. Wow. Really lifts my spirits when I see some of real nature wandering around. So for today, that's a wrap. I'm gonna grab my camera, shoot a few beech leaves, and I'll pop them up on screen as usual, and see you on the next one. So till then, please take care of one another, and if you can't be good, just be careful. I'll see you soon. Bye.